What is up, fellow monkeys? Manny here, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got another training tutorial on the hangboard for you, featuring a method for not only training finger strength but also upper body and core. And as we know, all of these are quite useful when it comes to climbing. So-called Encores can be viewed as an addition, or rather an extension, to repeaters, which I demonstrated in another tutorial very recently. And since this video contains a lot of valuable tips and tricks for both approaches, I would highly encourage you to check it out as well if you haven't already. Now I will discuss the workflow of Encores, which is quite similar to repeaters but features one major difference, and afterwards I will yet again throw out some tips and tricks for increasing the practicability of these workouts. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. As always, you should start your session with a nice warm-up, get that fingers going, do some hangs on bigger edges first, and then start to get accustomed to your training edge. Also, since we're going to hit the upper body as well, you should throw in some pull-ups on those edges to get your lats and arms going. When you have the feeling you have access to your full power, take a short 1 or 2 minute break and get ready for your first set. Alright, so the basic standard workflow of Encores is the following. Hang your training edge for 7 seconds on almost straight arms, then rest for 3 seconds. Then hang the edge on 90 degrees bent arms for 7 seconds, rest for 3 seconds. Then hang the edge on fully bent arms, almost 180 degrees bent arms, for another 7 seconds with your nose at the edge. Rest for 3 seconds, and then repeat this pattern one more time. 7 seconds on almost straight arms, 3 seconds rest, 7 seconds on 90 degrees bent arms, 3 seconds rest, and 7 seconds on fully bent arms, and finish. This represents one set. And as you can imagine, due to these lock-offs, you're kind of forced to bring your upper body strength into the game, additionally to the obvious finger strength. For the rests in between sets, I would recommend 2 to 3 minutes, similarly to the previously discussed repeaters, whereas you can start your session at 2 minutes rest and you might want to go up to 3 minutes as the session progresses and you get more tired, to keep you capable of executing proper sets. Complete 10 sets and your standard Encores workout is done, a pretty compact session which should not take longer than 1 hour. I've already discussed tips on injury prevention and ways of adjustment of difficulty in the previous repeaters video. Since they apply just as well to this workout, I'd encourage you to look into it. Now I want to share some more tips and tricks to ensure greatest possible practicability, because everyone knows if something is more doable, it will be done more often, and in a training context this can be a powerful weapon against laziness. So the first thing I want to point out here is that you will have to use a stopwatch for this workout. It's impossible to count it, I've tried it, and it's fascinating how those tiny little rests get longer and longer as you get more tired if you're not back checking on the stopwatch all the time. That means that you have to mount a stopwatch accordingly so that you can see it all the time. And even if you manage to do that, when doing Encores, you will have to count at least some reps, namely those with your nose at the edge, because you simply won't see the stopwatch. This problem can be solved, of course, with more sophisticated devices which are programmable and can give you some kind of audio signal. Something which should also be always in close proximity is your brush, especially when doing workouts like repeaters or Encores. Since you have quite long hang times, like 42 seconds per set, that's a long time, for chalk to massage itself into your holes and making them even more slippy and stuff. So be sure to always brush your holes after each set, so that you have kind of a fresh edge when you get to the hangboard again. Another tip would be try to really place yourself exactly below the hangboard before you even go into your first rep, because this way you will avoid swinging back and forth as soon as you grab the edge, which can be really annoying, especially on longer hang times. Another very important one, keep your core engaged. This is why these transformed repeaters, if you will, are called Encores, because you have to bring your whole upper body and core into the game as well. So be sure to not let your legs hang down inactively, form a straight line with your body and activate those abs. Another tip, in my experience, the small 3 seconds rest is just enough for a tiny little shakeout of the hands. Now it is debatable whether we should use that to our advantage or not. As I've explained in the repeaters tutorial, you should acquire a power endurance-like pump when executing these sessions, and shaking will put you a bit more into the direction of aerobic endurance, if you know what I mean, since with more blood also more oxygen reaches your forearms. However, after some experimenting, I realized that I can increase the difficulty a notch, for example via bonus weight, when I do these little shakeouts, and that's somehow more important to me, especially considering that the pump is in fact nearly the same. Speaking about bonus weight, and that's gonna be my last tip, after even more experimenting, I figured that by far the most convenient way to add bonus weight is by simply throwing some stuff into your backpack and put it on during your hangs. It might alter your center of gravity slightly compared to using a harness, but it's so much more convenient that I prefer using the backpack in the meantime. And you know, convenience gets more and more important as bonus weight gets heavier. And that's already it for this video, my friends. I hope you've got something from it. Be sure to give these workouts a try. It's really awesome. It works great in my opinion for improving finger strength, and as I said, if you use these Encores, you can also increase your upper body and lock-off power. And also core, and we need all of this for climbing, you know, so that's kind of a way to get a complete workout on your simple, very simple training device, your Hangboard in. So yeah, as always, drop some likes, opinions and experiences. I thank you so much for your attention, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.